and fire. It's on the... Ah! He made it! Oh my...
About set for another great Saturday matchup in the Crossroads League. It is the Marian Knights out of Indianapolis, Indiana, taking on the 13-5, 4-4 in the conference Huntington Foresters, who have played so well here inside Platt Arena. We'll bring you inside Platt Arena here in just a few moments. Huntington is 9-1 here at their home arena, make it 8-1 actually as I look through the stats. But man, they have played well, and they are 8-0 when scoring 80+ points this season. Their defense has been phenomenal. We'll see if they can bring it against a Knights team who's very talented, but still having a little bit of a down year.
Yeah, we talk about this HU offense complementing the HU defense. When they're scoring the ball, this team usually runs through the three ball. They can run through Caden Johnson and some of their bigs at times. But when that offense is going, they are hard to stop. This defense has been rock solid all year long. The Knights could have a long day ahead of them.
The Knights are led by a familiar coach. His last name is Knight. It is Bobby Knight's son, Pat Knight, who of course coached for a while at Texas Tech after Bobby decided to retire. And then of course he was at Lamar, took them to a first four appearance. He has struggled with this team, but a big reason why, their best player last year, Nolan Loveton, has been out all but I think the first 3 games of the year with what appears to be a knee injury. So he's been very short-handed trying to get this team figured out, but they can hurt you. They've got a lot of Division I transfers from the Indianapolis area, and one of them to watch is Aaron Humphrey Jr., number 15 from Indy. He's bounced around from St. Francis, Pennsylvania, Glen Oaks Community College. He is one of the best stretch bigs in the entire conference.
Yeah, he can get it done against just about anyone. He is such a fantastic player down there in the post. He is 4th in the conference in rebounds per game, sitting at 9.2. But last game wasn't his best effort. Only put up 5 points on 2 for 7 shooting against Indiana Wesleyan. That was on Wednesday. Struggled against a big-time post defender in Bontrager. Going to have another tough task in Caden Johnson here tonight. Excited to watch the matchup between those two here this afternoon.
Let me right to my next point. Caden Johnson has played like an All-American big this year, averaging 15.6 points per game to go along with 11 rebounds per contest. He has boosted his free throw percentage up more than 20%, assisting 2.1 times per game. He's coming off 18 points and 17 rebounds in a monster performance up at St. Francis in Fort Wayne on Wednesday night.
Yeah, season high in rebounds, 18 points, 17 boards, just an elite stat line, and you said it, All-American question mark, and Caden Johnson certainly playing like it. He has had a fantastic year so far and has played extremely well on his home floor. Looking to keep that going here as the Foresters look to move to 9-1 here in Platt Arena.
We are just about set and ready for starting lineups. We're going to go ahead and send it to a short break for the video board here in just a moment. And when we come back, we'll have tip-off between the Marian Knights and the Huntington Foresters on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Forester faithful, let's get on your feet and meet the starting lineup for your Huntington.
Back in Platt Arena, the starting five about to be introduced here in Platt Arena. Of course, Caden Johnson, who's having that big-time season here as a redshirt junior forward from Hartford, Michigan. Miles Good, the redshirt freshman who's been a surprise to everyone, averaging 14 points per game after only playing a handful of games last year as a true freshman. Cade Brenner, coming off of what was one of his best performances as a Forester at the collegiate level. 22 points, 2 steals, a big-time hustle play that really helped the Foresters win in Fort Wayne on Wednesday night. Joined by Kalen Lasisi and, of course, the team leader Jackson Paul, who just continues to come up clutch for this team. He made play after play against St. Francis on Wednesday night. Huntington sits at 13-5 in Jared Yock's first year. Their RPI is top 5 in the country, and they have been really good here in Platt Arena this season.
Yeah, they've played a tough schedule, as you mentioned, 5th in the nation in strength of schedule, and they've come out the other end pretty strong, I would say. 13 wins to 5 losses. They're 4-4 in the Crossroads, sitting in 5th place with the Marian Knights at 2-9 in 9th place right now. Getting ready to start a fantastic matchup, game number 2 of the men's and women's doubleheader.
So the Knights in their black away uniforms with the racetrack yellow down the side. Of course, the home of racing down in Indianapolis. And they're hoping to get off to a fast start today as the Foresters in their home whites with the green trim. And it is a special day in Platt Arena. The best team in Forester history, the 2006 runner-up team, will be recognized at halftime. We will also cover that here on FDN Sports for you. Right away, Caden Johnson's going to get a start. Lasisi is open, and a perfect big-to-big connection by those two who have worked so well in their first season together.
It's so great to see them both out on the floor at the same time because, yeah, like you said, they work so well off each other, just seem to know where the other is on the floor at all times.
Josiah Gustin, the sophomore from Pendleton Heights, swings it out to Humphrey. This is their stretch 4 that's quite good. He had an easy look there. Lasisi did just enough to deter the shot and get a stop. Huntington up 2-0 here, 1 minute in.
There's that Forester defense right there. So good down low with Lasisi and Johnson. Off to a good start.
Miles Good had an easy shot. Instead, Jackson Paul floats one up and in. He's another guy who's approaching that 1,000-point mark. He's up to 961 with that bucket. I asked Jared Yock, did you ever expect that from a guy like Jackson Paul? Short answer was, we knew what he was capable of. We knew he wasn't a great scorer, but he has just worked his tail off to get even close to 1,000 points, and he'll get there over the next few weeks.
Yeah, this season has been a big part of it. He has taken on a lot of the scoring load with big-time losses in the scoring column. Leaving for the Division I level, he has really stepped up.
Huntington great on the defensive end here early as Good catches in transition, pulls and hits, and Huntington up to a 7-0 start, and right away, Coach Knight needs a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. The season story has been slow start for the Foresters. They got off to a fast start up at St. Francis. They kind of gave in. St. Francis came all the way back. They won in overtime. This is what Huntington needs, though, in a crucial game for them, trying to get in that top 4 spot in the league.
Yeah, and great to see that first 3-point attempt go down for Miles Good. He's had a rough month shooting the 3 so far, shooting 23% from 3 so far in January, down from 35% the rest of the month. So great to see him going, because when he gets hot, and he gets hot from 3, he is extremely tough to guard, and that just makes this Forester team so much more dynamic, giving them so many more options on offense. Great to see him start off 1 for 1.
I also think the important part is you've had 3 buckets from 3 different players already for HU. So just that balanced attack has led them in a lot of games this year, but there has been other games where that hasn't been there, Brady, and they need that to be a really quality team. Gustin against Lasisi. What a move by the sophomore from Pendleton, Indiana, averaging 8 points per game. He had a nice freshman year. Great athlete, and shows some of his length there as well.
Yeah, Gustin listed as a sophomore, but doesn't look like it, and certainly doesn't play like it right there. Stands at 6'8", plays like a grown man.
Brenner kept that one alive. He's been making a lot of hustle plays. He was open in the far corner and then trying to go to Caden Johnson. It was tipped out of play. I asked Coach Yak as well yesterday about Brenner. He said, we told him he needs to take a leap this year offensively. And then I said, you know, one of my best friends who watches all the game, Tyler Green, texted me right away and said, Cade Brenner just made the best play of his career, diving and getting a wide open layup to Miles Good in that overtime win against St. Francis. Coach Yak said he would have never done that in his first 2 years of college, but he's getting it now in a better role. Brenner, right on cue, knocks it in, and he is starting to heat up. He started 3 for 3 at St. Francis, 1 for 1 here today. It's good to see.
Making it look good right there, just as you were talking about. I mean, yeah, coming off 22.6 made threes, 50% from three-point. Great start for him.
Justin, and now Humphrey will shoot a 3. Kind of a weird-looking shot, the double clutch, and then up ahead, Jackson Paul has it cleared as KJ pushes it ahead. JP staying aggressive. Lasisi with the cut, the spin, the left hand, and the nice touch. Forster's up 10.
Jackson Paul has been so good at that this season. He's coming off a game with 9 assists, leading the Crossroads League. Well, maybe not leading, but up towards the leaders in assists so far this season. One of the best passers on the floor right now.
Little short jump shot is off the mark. KJ with another rebound. Up ahead, Miles Good. Huntington looks for those cross-court pass on the break to get that primary transition going, and when they don't get there, they go to this guy a lot. KJ right at the rim and got it over the top of the rim with the right hand, and this is what Huntington wanted, to come out, punch this Knights team right away, and they have done so with a 12-point lead.
And with Caden Johnson down low, it's not always the strength that gets him the good positioning, it's his footwork. He is so fundamental down there, and that's what leads to a lot of easy buckets like we just saw in that last offensive possession.
KJ right back to work. Big lefty has Brenner open, now skips it to Good, who will drive into the paint, fall away from 14. That's too strong and ripped down by Humphrey Jr.
Not sure that's a look right there. You pass up an open 3 to take a contested mid-range like that. Maybe not the decision I would have made. Miles Good right there.
Moles driving strong inside. Just let him go right around him to Good. He was in good position, but then the footwork from Moles, who's a really nice junior from Greenfield, Indiana, 11.2 per contest. Had a nice year last year. 1,460 points at Trinity Christian during his time there. Excuse me, at Greenfield Central. KJ to Lasisi, who's added this to his game, and he's off to an excellent 3 for 3 start. Before this year, he didn't even attempt a three-point shot in college, and now he's made 10 on the season.
Talk about this HU team getting off to slow starts. Well, you just blinked, and now HU's got 17 points. They're up by 13 early on.
Humphrey against KJ, and Johnson just got into the body of Humphrey, did everything right. And when you see a big do this, Brady, they put their hands up, did the right thing, but that little jump and contact into Humphrey, and then Aaron somehow threw up that circus shot, got it to go.
Yeah, not much you can do right there. If you're Caden Johnson, you foul, but the shot going in, that's just an extremely tough look. That's one where you tip your cap and you give him the bucket.
Humphrey had 21 points against St. Francis. That is his season high. He's also had 17 rebounds in 2 different games. But you talked about it. He was staggered a little bit offensively against IWU, and Cademan Bontrager is a big reason why, as Brenner tries going to the rim, trying to push the pace. Not necessarily his game off the dribble, and comes up empty on that first 2-point attempt. Landon Beagle in for the first time as well. A couple of changes for Marian, and right around Beagle goes Humphrey. He's fouled, and with that, it'll take us to our first media timeout. Humphrey scored the last 3. He's looking for the next 2, and we'll see if he can do so on FDN Sports right after this break.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Biffa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Back in Platt Arena, we want to talk about a special part of this Huntington University staff, and of course with the 2006 team in town today, one of their own is one of the assistant coaches on this team, Chase Verber, right there in the long sleeve Adidas gray shirt, walking away from you with the black pants. He was a part of that team, and he had an excellent career playing for the Foresters. But what he means to the Huntington University basketball program, Coach Yock literally looked at me and said everything. He will show up 2 hours before the game. He'll be mopping the floor. He'll be wiping the backboards. He'll be changing the nets because he wants this place to look perfect. So not only is he a big part of Huntington's success and the winningest class in Forester history, but he's just a stand-up person. He's a good person that has mentored Yock into this success in year one.
Just a great guy to have around. It's always great to bring back alumni. It's such a great tradition that Huntington seems to have, this Huntington basketball program. Having alumni around, especially one from that 06 class, fantastic team. He understands how to win, the signs of winning. Glad that he's here.
Humphrey is now 3 for 3 from the free throw line today. He's their leading scorer, and he's off to a nice start, up to 5 points now is Humphrey Jr. Lacisi leading the way for the Foresters with 7. Knights with a nice little run, though. 5-0 run to get back in this game. 14:30 left in the first half, and they're falling into a zone now on the defensive end. As Good shuffles and finds Cade Brenner for his second 3. It's in and out. Humphrey rips it down. Talked about him being a good rebounder. He averages 9 per contest.
That's a good look right there. You produce a good three-point shot against the zone. You got to be happy with that possession right there. Just didn't get the result that you wanted.
Oles was trying to throw that one down inside to the freshman Blake Russell. Actually threw it right off the back foot. I think it was the left foot there of Landon Beagle. And the shot clock will be 19 for Marian to work with. See Caden Johnson quickly back in the game as Kalen Lacisi will take a seat. Both those guys got into foul trouble up in Fort Wayne on Wednesday, so it's important to rotate them in and out, and we don't want them getting into foul trouble here today. Russell back to the basket. Nice spin move, soft touch. KJ another rebound, already has 3 here in the first 7 minutes.
That's just, I'm taller than you, I can jump higher than you. Caden Johnson pulls that board down with ease.
Huntington needs to get someone in the middle of this zone to start spraying it out to these shooters. They've got Beagle and Brenner on both sides of KJ, as Caden will just call his own number, and he just lives on the rim. That is something we didn't see him do as much last year, but of course, only around 15 minutes per game. He's now playing 34 minutes per contest.
His offensive game has just skyrocketed this season with, like you said, the more opportunities that he's got to really put his abilities on display.
Humphrey right back to work against the smaller Jackson Paul. Will spin, fall, and miss. And Caden Johnson again with the rebound, putting a little point forward here as he flips it to Jackson Paul. Jackson finds a cutting Beagle. It was a little too hot to handle and behind Landon. And now up and ahead running the Knights. A tough move and score by Elhad Diallo as he has joined the scoring here. And this is someone to watch. Elhad hasn't played a lot this year, but he has hurt Huntington in the past.
Yeah, he's off to a good start right there. Headed to the basket with a head of steam. Chance to convert on a three-point play.
Out of Brownsburg, Indiana. He had 9 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist on January 6, 2024 in a game that Marian beat Huntington at Marian. That game got very feisty. It was a 2-point game. Lane Sparks and some of the Marian coaching staff got into it after the game. And then the next time Marian came to town, Huntington drilled them, and that left a bad taste in their mouth. But Diallo can be a big part of success today for the Knights.
Oh, yeah.
Huntington's still trying to figure out this zone here. We got Jackson Jones, another shooter in. Beagle, his first attempt from the left side is good, and that is a good sign because he did not shoot it especially well at St. Francis, just 2 of 10 from the field.
Yeah, good sign is right. He's really been that 6th man that Coach Jared Yock has been looking for. hasn't got too many opportunities in the starting lineup, but has embraced his role, coming off that bench, being the first guy out there, hits his first three-pointer of the night.
Good, steps into one in transition. That rattles in and out. He's just trying to find that range again from three. Started the day well, hasn't been able to make the next two. Beagle nearly had a steal, now he does, and Landon will go coast to coast, and it's blocked, and a foul comes in, and that is a tough whistle on the Knights, and it's gonna go on Diallo. I did not think there was anything there.
No, I thought, if anything, yeah, I did not think that was a whistle right there. I didn't see much contact, and what could have been a momentum-changing play ends up in 2 free throws for the Forcers.
Beagle will shoot some rare free throws, knocks in the first at 73.7%. Landon's interesting because he's very, very streaky, much like Cade Brenner. But you look at it, his career high in points per game, rebounds per game, threes made with now 32. He's had games with 21 points against top 3 Arizona Christian. He's had games of 0 against Goshen. So you just try to find that consistency with him and Cade. And right now, Cade has been the more consistent one. But when those two go, this team's really good. As Diallo, right on cue again, goes right back to the rim against Jackson Jones.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in previous broadcasts. It's really the bench unit that has been driving this team to success. When that bench unit is going, this team is dangerous. Well, as the season rolls on, the starting 5 can't carry you to 25 wins in a conference tournament. You need some production from that bench unit, and they're getting it right now.
10 on the shot clock as Jackson Paul will operate. Smartly goes inside to Caden Johnson, who's double. One more to Jackson Jones. The lefty fires and is short. Gets his own miss. It's a loose ball underneath, and the Knights will come away with it.
I like the confidence there by Jackson Jones. Thought about the first one early on in the shot clock, passes it up, takes it again.
Diallo,
confidence.
Telling you, there's something about when he sees the name Huntington across from him, just lifts his level of play. He came in averaging 3.8 points per game. You look up, he's leading the way with 8.
It's a funny thing about sports. Sometimes certain players just have certain teams' numbers. There's no way to explain it, but he is having a great start to this game.
Eagle misses the 3 there as Carroll now pushes the pace. Here's Diallo again as he will stay down on 2 feet, kick it back out to the top of the key. Ron Rutland Jr. And now Diallo, he's feeling it. That might have been tipped, but Rutland the 3rd kept it in. 10 on the shot clock. Jackson Paul swipes it away, and he stepped on the end line, so it'll stay with Marian.
But a good defensive possession so far. Only leaves 8 on the shot clock. The Knights are going to have to work quickly here on this inbound.
See if they've got to play out of this as Guston will come back to the scorer's table. They're just going to have to launch it up top to Luke Carroll, another Indianapolis native. Finds Diallo. He'll pull from the volleyball line and hit. I just can feel it coming when he's in this building, when he plays Huntington. I don't know why he doesn't play more, because every time I watch him, turns into Kobe Bryant.
Something about the color green, I guess. He's turning into, yeah, maybe he is turning into Kobe Bryant right now.
KJ triple teamed and fouled, and because of that, it's going to take us to a media timeout. And maybe the best news of the day, it's Diallo's 2nd foul. We'll take a break with the Foresters and the Knights. When we come back, A2 has a ball underneath their own basket. 9:49 left here in the first half. It was a quick start for Huntington. They're up 17-4, but since then it's been a lot of Marian Knights and a lot of Diallo, as we talked about. He plays well against Huntington. He has already surpassed his season average and then some, up to 11 points. And this is kind of how the Huntington game went at St. Francis. They got off to a fast start. They let St. Francis grab some life. Huntington did well to get it back before the half, and then the second half was just ugly. It was really a rock fight, but Huntington sometimes has won that way, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, usually here in Platt Arena, it's not always pretty, but they've been able to get the job done more often than not. Could be one of those games here today.
Caden Johnson, a set piece to him. Brenner catches and short. Lasisi fights for a rebound. He averages almost 3 offensive rebounds per game.
He's not the tallest guy out there, but he might be the strongest. He is so good on the board, so physical.
Lasisi right back to him. He had 7 early points, kept that pivot foot down somehow, and now Huntington doesn't know how much time's on the clock. Is good, launches and misses, and that's what we talked about with this offense having some struggles at times. They never got into their offense, miss a few shots, they create some more. It's just been a little up and down with the consistency finding the bottom of the net.
Yeah, I think it's sort of maybe a lack of identity here. Trying to play through KJ, trying to play through the 3. They're trying to do both of those things. They're not really doing either of them tremendously well here. Maybe just settle down, get in your offensive sets, and get your buckets where you can.
Back to Brenner. This has really given Huntington a lot of issues this zone as Lasisi misses one up and under. It's rebounded by Carroll, and now Huntington's in a drought as they still only lead by 4 here. A little over 8 minutes left in the first half. Rutland, 18-footer, can't get the roll. KJ rips down already his 5th rebound. Got to get that ball back into 1.
Got to figure something out. If it's to KJ, like he's going to get it in the middle of the zone here.
They do, and now they go to 2, and Good is fouled, and he has a chance for 4.
That's what happens when you get the ball in the middle of the zone. It's easier said than done, but that just creates so many open shooting lanes, and right there, Miles Good gets it done with a hand in his face. He's got a chance at a 4-point play, but good things happen when you get the ball to the middle of a zone.
I know you say it's easier said than done, but it can't be all that difficult to throw it to 6'11" in the middle of the zone and then throw 2 shooters on both sides of him, and that's what Jared Yock has done so. I just don't know if his players have necessarily received that message yet. There's been a couple of possessions just like that, but if you get it into him, that's how you always beat a zone. And if they start going out to the shooters, you back cut, you get a dunk or a layup at the rim. We'll see if they can continue to do that. Back up 8. Humphrey to Gustin, who will take this sort of jump shot and bank it in. It's a little late on a Saturday, but he did get it to go in as he cashes in to make it a 6-point game.
Yeah, I'm sure he called bank right there. A little shimmy, shimmy off glass from mid-range. He'll take that every day of the week.
Right back in there. Max McComb, the freshman, is in as KJ again thought that next shooter would be on the same side. Good is in the same spot. He fires, and he's got his 3rd 3, and man, again, KJ, you get it into him. He is such a good playmaker. He almost acts as a point forward at times. Maybe not the best ball handler in the world, but he is a very capable passer.
Man, when you get Miles Good, he gets his feet set on that left wing. His percentage goes way up. He's off to a good start shooting the 3.
Foul called here on Max McComb as he was working through that screen. Max is someone that really didn't play at all to start the year out of Carmel, Indiana. Went to University High School, but now 4 games, 24 minutes under his belt. He comes in to add defense, and he's actually a tremendous offensive rebounder at 6'4". Gustin, that time a little more traditional as he splashes in his 2nd jumper. He's up to 6 points.
HU stormed out to that 10-point lead, but now Marian and Huntington sort of trading blows right here. It seems like a lot more even matchup right now.
Right back into Caden Johnson. It's Miles Good looking for 3 straight. Strong, Caden fighting for it, but Gustin pushes it to Franks. Now up ahead to Moles. And Brenner has a steal again. Those 50-50 balls as he swings it to Miles Good. Wide open was Beagle, but Caden Johnson is tackled. And it's going to be still just on the baseline as it's the 4th team foul on the Knights.
Yeah, I think the reaction from the crowd was more just out of surprise. Nothing malicious right there, I don't think. Just the momentum of Gusson carried him into KJ.
Little pick and roll here with Brenner and Caden Johnson. And now Good uses a screen for a 15-footer. Tried to throw out that foot, got his own rebound, but then swiped away. Beagle has a loose ball and flips it to KJ.
They handed it right to him.
Another winning play.
Beagle.
Yeah, another winning play by these juniors. Caden Johnson this time puts it on the floor, and that's always going to be an offensive foul, and that's 2 on Caden Johnson, and he's probably going to have to take a seat for a while.
Yeah, something to keep track of right there. Johnson, not usually one to get in foul trouble. He's been very good at defending without fouling and staying away from those offensive fouls, but 2 fouls with 6 minutes left in the first half. Coach Yock looking like he's going to keep him out there at least for a little bit. Lasisi still on the bench.
Yep, so they'll roll the dice here with KJ as he has the 2 personals. That's Huntington, only their first turnover here in this first half. Actually, live stats aren't updating for me, so it might be a couple more. Right side, Franks will cut in. He had such a good year last year. It really has been down so far this season. As Guston is feeling it right now. Takes another jump shot. Beagle rebounds it on the backside off the miss. Looking for Brenner, instead threw it in. It was last touch by Moles as it went off his thigh, and Foresters will have the basketball.
Jackson Paul almost made like a Showtime player right there. Put some heat on that bounce pass. Just skates by Beagle.
Camera operators have just had a tough time inside Platt Arena here the last 3 weeks. Couple of them taking some of the brunt from the basketball skipping into their lap, into their camera, their nose. Dangerous job down there on the baseline. A little show and go there. Paul way too high off glass, and now Marian a chance to cut into this 7-point lead. Rutland the third skips it to Moles as he's defended well by Landon Beagle. Aiden Franks from Wapahani into Diallo, who's fouled and headed back to the free throw line.
Looks like they drew that set up for him. Diallo back in the game. Comes off the screen hard, yeah. Gets straight to the basket. Gonna have a chance for 2.
Oh, we've lost live stats here in the arena. They're not being showed up on the big board, which means we don't have them on our broadcast as well. So we'll try to get that corrected for you in just a moment. The score is correct. It's 31-24, 5:05 left in the first half. Beagle just picked up his second. Diallo missed the first, and a chance for the second coming his way. I think for the Knights, Aiden Franks is a question mark for me. Red shirt, sophomore this year, guard, 6'3" from Muncie, Indiana, played at Wapahani. Last year, he scored 26 points against Huntington, and then he scored 16 points the second game against Huntington. And he was freshman of the year, second team all-conference, all-freshman team. This year, just 7.6 points per game. He's shooting 19% from 3. So maybe a sophomore slump, but he dominated Huntington at Marian last year.
Yeah, we talked about with Diallo, just sometimes seeing the opposing team's colors, seeing that white and green, just turns you to, allows you to turn on a new level right there. Franks, as you mentioned, not off to the best start this season, as finally we're going to get a substitution. Lasisi checked into the game for Caden Johnson. I think we had a stoppage of play because of the live stats. Now the Jumbotron here in Platt Arena is completely turned off. Well, hopefully we'll keep you guys updated on the score.
I think that was actually Johnson had some blood on his shorts.
Oh, okay.
So they were trying to get him out and cleaned up before the free throws, but him leaving the game here now isn't that big of a deal because you have the under 5 media timeout coming out. Plus, he has 2 fouls. So giving him a little bit of a breather as he's heading back to the bench now might not be a bad thing. Beagle, again, off the mark on the open look. Rebound to Lasisi. Brenner will try his luck. And he's short. Lasisi again, a rebound. Good. Carves in for a layup and a tough floater from about 4 feet.
I think Lasisi should get a half a point right there. He was really the one who created that scoring opportunity, pulling down 2 offensive rebounds in 1 possession. Just total hustle from the Rio Grande transfer.
At 3, short, rebound down to Murphy, and then he tapped it off good, and that will allow us to go to a media timeout. With 4:26 left in the first half, Foresters lead by 8, and the hustle play from Humphrey will have the Knights with the basketball when we come back on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Back in Platte Arena, it's 33-25. Our live stats are down in the arena, so we won't be able to show you all our bells and whistles right now. But Miles Good is leading the way with 12 here, and Kalen Lasisi still at 7 points. 4 offensive rebounds already. He's got 6 total. Caden Johnson has 4 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Landon Beagle has 5 points, 3 for Cade Brenner, 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds for Jackson Paul, as Huntington is shooting 46.2%. So we'll get that working here for you. In the meantime, we'd love to know where you're watching from today. You can leave a comment on the YouTube comment section if you're a Knights fan, a Huntington fan, just a basketball fan. Let us know where you are watching from. Brady and I would love to say hello, and we hope you're enjoying some FDN Sports here on your Saturday afternoon. 3 seconds left. Franks rises and hits, and again, he's a guy that can get it going. He killed this Huntington team. Both times he saw him last year, and he just hasn't been as involved on the offensive end.
Yeah, there's his answer right there. We talked about his down percentages this year in his sophomore year of collegiate basketball. Right there, gets to his spot, takes that mid-range jump shot with no hesitation. Maybe that'll get things going for him here with about 3 minutes left in the first half.
Beagle, again, just a wide open look, and his three-point shot has been off the mark today. That's been a struggle for him over the last couple of games, as an offensive rebound is nearly created by the Knights. Huntington takes it away. Jackson Paul will navigate and throw it off glass, and he's called for an offensive foul, and Coach Todd Howard, the assistant for the Knights, will get warned here. As you see, JP very clearly wrapped around the defender and is called for a personal foul.
Good call right there, but HU's still up by 6 here. The Knights hanging around. Not a lot of separation Huntington's been able to create here after getting out to that early 10-0 lead.
Bowles against Beagle. Good defense there, and then a back cut, and it's forced out of play. That was all set up by Landon, pressuring the ball and creating a tough pass.
Cade Brenner and Landon Beagle, really the two biggest, I would say, X factors on this team. And so far, both of them playing decently well here to start this game. Brenner, he's got more points. He's had a couple of good defensive plays, and so is Landon Beagle. He's gotten it going on the scoring column as well.
Up ahead, Gustin catches in transition. May have got away with an extra step as it skipped back to Frank on the left wing. Josiah continues to go off the dribble, high off glass. He has been their go-to scorer along with Diallo, and he's not a big-time scorer on the season, but he's already at a season average with 8.
It's a great take right there. Just fearless going up against one of the best defenders in the conference. Great bucket right there.
Caden Johnson ends the run with a little hook shot with about 3 defenders around. Jackson Paul had a wide open layup and decided to pass it to KJ, which was never a bad decision. Huntington back up 6.
No, if you're ever in distress, you pick up their dribble, throwing it to number 1, never going to be a bad decision.
And Caden Johnson just got away with his 3rd foul as well, as him and Gustin are going at it. And being talked to by the officials. I think KJ literally just got away with foul number 3, which would be bad news for HU if he does pick up his 3rd before the half. Humphrey Jr. He had the hot start, then it was Diallo. Now it's Gustin who has it knocked away. He took out Landon Beagle, no foul called, but Huntington has numbers as they push ahead. Lasisi quick into KJ, looking for a cutter. The double comes, and now Skip between the circles as Jackson Paul will fire a rare 3 and hit one.
How about that? Jackson Paul, you said it. Not really a three-point shooter, but when he's able to get his feet set and he's got time, his percentage goes up, knocks down the corner 3.
Humphrey with a quick move, but had it knocked out of play. Jackson Paul is shooting way less threes this year. He's only at 29.6%, but he is averaging a career high in points, rebounds, and assists per game. And he's tied for the most assists in the Crossroads League this year with 89. He's second during Crossroads League games. And a timeout called as Coach Knight didn't want to use it, but he has to, and we're going to take it with him. 1:35 left in the first half. HU up 9 when we come back on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
95 seconds left in the first half. It's a Foresters 38-29 lead. Good response by him, Brady, after Marian got back into a rhythm offensively. They're shooting the ball, Huntington that is, incredibly well from deep. 7 of 17, 41%. That's not always been their strong suit this year, but different guys knocking down the tray has held them out to a 9-point lead.
Looking to maintain that here. About 90 seconds left in this first half.
Humphrey, that's off the mark. Lasisi, his 7th rebound already. Good eyes ahead as KJ works deep in the post. Huntington will get into a set here. 1:20 left in our first half. Huntington looking to win their 9th game in Platte Arena. Double team comes. Caden had a wide open Jackson Paul. Beagle back to good. Miles steps back. KJ now with 8 will drive and slam as he had to recollect. 3 dunks for KJ already.
Put that down with some authority. Caden Johnson straight to the rack.
Cutting Moles back to Humphrey. He puts his head down, had it knocked around by KJ. Gustin against Caden Johnson. Out to Moles, top of the key. No good. Lasisi's 8 rebound now. And Huntington wants to call a timeout as Coach Yock always does. It's a use it or lose it. We will go ahead and send it to one more short break. Caden Johnson living on the rim in the first half. Foresters up 11. Back in Platte Arena, I want to say hello to a couple of our viewers. Looks like we have Pam Timmer watching from Hopkins, Michigan. Hello, Pam. And then Judy Calacchio, if that's correct. I hope so, watching from Marlborough, Massachusetts. First time I've ever seen someone watching from Massachusetts. Hope you're enjoying the game here today. Probably not much warmer up there than it is here in Huntington, Indiana, around 8 degrees and getting colder. Huntington trying to get an exclamation point to end the half. Brenner fires and is off the mark again as he continues to struggle to shoot it here this afternoon. 10 seconds. Diallo against Good. Lucky to not be called for a foul as Coach Howard again not pleased to our left. as Diallo is going to have to force with 1 on the clock, steps back and is short, and that will send us to our break. It's 40-29. We are actually going to keep the coverage here. Josh Kessler, the PA announcer, is going to walk you through what was the best Huntington University team in school history. Steve Platt was the head coach, of course, the arena named after him, and you guys will see that very talented squad who was runner-up in the 2006 NAIA National Tournament. We'll be back after this. Enjoy the presentation of the 2006 runner-up team here on FDN Sports.
In just a moment here, it's going to be our privilege to introduce and recognize the 2006 National Runner-Up team. So if the members of the 2006 National Runner-Up team could join us at center court, we would be grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2006 men's basketball team. This team is being honored today for the legacy they left on the Huntington University basketball program 20 years ago. It was a fairy tale season for the 2006 team, as they are the only squad in the university history to make it to an NAIA national championship game. After clinching the MCC title to earn an automatic bid to the national tournament, the Foresters skated through the opening rounds of the tourney, winning their first 4 games by an average of 18.5 points. Before coming up short against host College of the Ozarks in the tournament final game. Led by All-American Alex Cook, the Foresters finished the season with a 32-6 record, the second most wins recorded in HU history. They dominated the opposition, outscoring opponents on average by over 12 points per contest. This highly touted and talented crew led the NAIA Division II in free throw percentage by knocking down 78.8% of their free throws. They also finished second in the nation in field goal percentage at 51.0%. Fifth in three-point field goals with a percentage of 40.8%, and sixth in scoring with a margin of 12.3. Members of this team included Kyle Benge, Todd Dale, Kyle Ganton, Ben Hafley, James Hafley, Alex Cook, Seth Lockmuller, Jeff Sheets, Doug Scheckler, Steve Snyder, Ryan Thornton, assistant coach Chase Verba, current assistant coach, then team member, Jared Yoder, Rob Richards was a student manager, Beth Harrell was athletic trainer, the late Steve Platt was the head coach, assisted by associate head coach Ty Platt, and also assistant Mark Green. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2006 men's basketball team.
reminding us tonight of our identity in him, that we're sons, we're daughters, and we're loved. And so we're going to sing a song about that, and we want you guys to sing it with us. It says that we truly are worth more than gold. All right, put your hands together, come on. I want to hear you sing it out, all right? If you know it, let me hear you sing it. You were walking on the moon, now you're feeling low, oh, oh. What they said wasn't true, nah, you're beautiful, oh. Sticks and stones break your bones, I know what you're feeling. Words like those won't steal your glow. You're one in a million. This is for all the girls, boys all over the world. Whatever you've been told, you're worth more than gold. So hold your head up high, it's your time to shine. From the inside out it shows, you're worth more than gold. Yeah, let's go, put your hands together, come on, hey. Well, everybody keeps
We're back in Platt Arena, and it is an 11-point advantage for the Foresters at halftime. A lot of things went right for them to start the game. Marian got back into that first half and played well during the middle stretch of the first half, but Huntington then stretched it back out. Brady, everything starts with Caden Johnson, and that was the case a lot in the first half, but man, Miles good. It's good to see him back on track offensively, up to 12 points at the break.
Yeah, it's really been the big three for this Forester squad that's been getting it done. Jackson Paul dishing out a lot of assists. Miles Good's been getting it going. And, of course, numero uno, Caden Johnson getting it done. And all in a day's work for him. He's having a great performance. But if I could give Marian any advice, Pat Knight at the helm, I would say make these HU shooters beat you. If you're going to run that zone, I like that zone look that they had. If you can make Cade Brenner, Miles Good, or Landon Beagle have to shoot some tough threes and make them beat you, I think you're okay laying your head on your pillow at night saying, okay, we lost to those guys, opposed to having Caden Johnson drop 25 with 10 rebounds and 3 blocks, knowing that you could have done something else.
40-29, 15 of 32 for the Foresters in the first half. We've got Coach Yock getting ready to join us on the headset here in just a few moments. Coach, got off to a fast start here today. You talked about the fast start at St. Francis on Wednesday night. Similar start today, 7-0 right away. What allowed you to get off to that quick start?
Yeah, I thought our guys did a good job sharing the ball. We got out in transition early. We were throwing it ahead, moving it. I think we had 5 assists at the first media timeout. So when we're moving it like that, we're really hard to guard.
Kalen Lasisi is just so energetic and brings so much to your team that maybe goes unnoticed a lot of times. Today it's being noticed. I think he had 5 offensive rebounds in that first half, maybe 6, 8 total, 7 points. He has turned himself into quite a weapon who brings so much to your roster.
Yeah, he's done a great job on the glass. Against that zone, he can really get in there and beat him up. So we told him just keep crashing against that zone, see if you can steal a couple possessions for us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep,
His team up 11 as we get ready and just about set for the second half. Miles Good led the way with 12. Kanan Johnson had 8, 5, and 4. Lasisi with 7, 8. No assists in that first half. Did everything else so well. Beagle had 5 and 2. Jackson Paul, 5 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Cade Brenner, just the 3 points, knocked in his first shot of the night. He's missed the next 5. On the other side, Diallo, you see him in these highlights, had 12 points. Gustin was really impressive with 8 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. After that, though, Brady, Humphrey was 1 of 5 for 5 points, 2 for Moles, 2 for Franks. So Huntington getting that deeper production from more players. Obviously a key for success, but that's very apparent today because everyone's getting something done for HU. Not as much of the story for the Knights, at least through the first 20.
Yeah, it's been a group effort for this HU squad right now. You just listed all the names that have been getting it done, at least in that first half. But yeah, for the Marian Knights, it's really come from the top, and it really hasn't been a whole lot of production. Look for Aaron Humphrey, hopefully to make a bigger difference in this second half. Gustin, I've been very impressed with him, the way that he's been moving down there on the block and making some tough shots. Maybe expect him to take a bit more of the scoring load in the second half. But regardless, the Knights are very much in this game, only down by 11. Anything can change in the span of a couple minutes.
Just about set for this second half. So cool to see those 2006 guys back in the building. That is where my Huntington University experience started, was watching that team coming here with my friend Tyler Green, Connor Platt, who of course Ty Platt was the associate head coach at that time. His grandpa Steve Platt, who this arena is named after, his entire family. Jamison Klein, his dad sitting behind us here. Dan and Rhonda brought me to games, and it's been 20 years that I've been coming to this building. It looks a little different now, but it's just kind of one of those full circle moments now, being able to sit here and broadcast, and we sure hope Huntington gets players like those guys, not only as players but people, because they're excellent people, and it's good to see them back in the building. Devin Browning, hello, by the way. Best commentator duo, Preston and Brady. We appreciate that, Devin. Always good to hear from you as Humphrey misses. Now just 1 of 6 from the field. And Kalen Lasisi has 9 rebounds already, Brady. Him and Addie Shank have just cleaned up the glass all day long.
Yeah, just being a bulldog down there on the on the boards, just going after every loose ball. Lasisi, I talked about it, not the tallest guy, but maybe the strongest guy out there. He is just totally tenacious. He's going to fight for those O boards and those defensive rebounds.
His athleticism still shocks me. I know how athletic he is, but sometimes he'll dunk a ball or go get a ball, and just shocked at how well he does it. That was even too high for him as that was tapped away and last kicked out by Marian.
Caden Johnson shoots a smile at Lasisi. He was going for the lob right there, and Lasisi says, that's way too high. What do you think, I'm John Morant?
And Coach Knight wants to review this right out of the halftime break. So he will call a timeout, and Coach Knight is going to have this look. We will take a break. The refs will come take a peek and see if the ball belongs to the Knights when we come back on FDN Sports.
Hi, my name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Yeah. Welcome back here. Huntington up by 11 here. Replay just concluded. It's going to be Marian Knights basketball. The call is upheld. So Marian going to get the ball in their own zone. 9 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in this first half.
Yeah, I just don't think they had enough there. I was talking with the staff over here from Marian. They were wondering what I thought, and I was going to tell them I think it's tough because one of the players was blocking the camera, and then it almost looked like after Lasisi hit it, it hit the bottom foot of one of the Knights players. So one of those, it's kind of flip of the coin. We do an excellent job on replaying angles, but we just can't cover every single angle possible at this level at least. Now, I will say, Indiana Wesleyan just added a seven-figure contract to broadcast their games. So over $1 million to broadcast their games over the next few years. And I'll still take our chances.
Oh, yeah. Is that with ESPN Plus?
Now, it's with the Urban Edge Network, who does a good job covering NAIA championships. There's all kind of issues going on here. They want to make sure 1 second went off the clock because the ball was touched on the last pass that went out of bounds. One of the officials was still at the scorer's table. Ball was put in play, and now we'll do it again. Now 19:20 left. Brenner with 5 on the shot clock. Good. Navigates 15-foot area and was fouled. Miles has been so good at getting to the stripe, and he's heading back there again.
Miles good. We've seen so many strides from him throughout this season. Coach Yock been extremely pleased with him as this team's point guard. But what I've really been impressed with is just his confidence going to the rim. He didn't go up strong right there, went up with the floater, but he's just so crafty down there, able to create and convert on a lot of tough looks.
Knocks down both. 13-point lead. Nice start to the second half here. It wasn't the prettiest of possessions by the Foresters, but they do end up getting 2 points out of it. Trying to win their 14th game of the season. Franks working to his left. Back to Rutland the third. Carves into the area. Humphrey, baseline against the taller KJ. Kane Johnson did a great job staying straight up and then got the rebound as well. Brenner thought about a 3, will reset. Good decision there by Cade as he moves it to Johnson, who now goes to JP. Jackson trying to get his defender in the air. Miles will have to reset, 13 on the shot clock. Miles gets his defender in the air. What a pretty move showing off some of those handles. Even Lasisi smiling coming down the court.
Oh, man, nasty crossover there by Miles Good. That was cold-blooded.
Doesn't Kyrie wear two as well? It kind of looked a lot like Kyrie Irving with those handles.
Kyrie in Cleveland.
Left side, three. Franks rattles in and out. Jackson Paul rebound. Good run by the Foresters. Right out of the break. Johnson catches at the rim. KJ spins one. Brenner, three. Short again. He's missed his last 6 shots after hitting that first 3 of the day.
Shot didn't go, but great find by Caden Johnson to get Cade Brenner an open look in the corner.
Humphrey just spins and jumps and moves like a pro. Obviously, he's not a pro, but he plays like one. That big 6'7" frame can put it on the floor. It's a nice move. Good. Got it to Johnson. KJ puts it on the floor. That footwork is so good, but couldn't get that one to go as Humphrey is able to rebound it on the backside.
Great defense by Gustin. I've been impressed with him in the first half, the way he defended KJ. He's been fairly solid on the offensive side right there. Misses a look right there, but overall been very good.
Jackson Paul finds Miles Good, who will set up the offense here. Coach Knight wanted a foul on that last drive by Gustin. And now JP uses the screen. Haven't seen him try to score too often, and tries to there, missed it. Thought we had something going there as he likes his little mid-range area. Humphrey again showing off his skills. Franks, who's been quiet. Cade Brenner goes down. Moles drives, left hand, missed a bunny, and Caden Johnson rebounds for the 8th time today.
Man, we talked about his slow start to the season. That just symbolizes it right there. An easy layup, rims off.
Good, trying to do a little too much after he had that good move earlier. Loses it. Moles tries to shove off of Good. Gustin goes high and is fouled by Lasisi. And the sophomore will take a trip to the stripe.
Surprised they didn't get Miles Good for a foul earlier on in that possession right there. Foul just comes a little bit later. Lasisi picking up his first.
So Gustin has 2 shots so far this season, 83.3%. I've really been good at messing people up at the line today, even Forester players as well. He's playing 25.6 minutes per game, but he has only played 5 games this year. His first game was on December 16th as Humphrey rips down KJ. And at the NCAA level, you'd be checking for a hook and hold. I don't know, did they get rid of that rule? Do you know? You're a big Illini guy.
Oh, no, because that, can't remember who it was, but the Illini did get called for that and got a technical not too long ago.
Okay, so something to keep an eye on. They're not going to review this one, it doesn't look like. Gustin misses both. Brenner throws it away. Moles, coast to coast, a spin, a left-hand miss. He's missed 2 wide-open layups his last 2 attempts. Gustin just can't even get it over the top, and Brenner wins it.
Great
up
defense
ahead,
right
Lasisi was thinking about dunking it, but the adjustment with the layup.
Coach Knight not too happy with the officiating on the defensive side of the ball, saying Johnson had his hands not straight up, but regardless, refs let him play on.
Humphrey now backs his way in against Caden again, and that one's missed at the rim. It's tied up, and a foul comes in. And it's going to be on Caden Johnson. That's his 3rd. See if there's a lot of arm here. That's what the call was. Of course, that first miss. I thought I don't know. That would have been a jump ball in our girls' game.
Yeah. Short tie-up right there.
Yes.
Johnson, that's a costly foul.
Rutland has been very quiet until now as he drops in a 3. He's a 32.1% three-point shooter this season, and I believe that's his first 3 points of the day.
Yeah, Rutland not a big volume three-point shooter, but can get it done. He was 2 for 3 last Wednesday against Indiana Wesleyan as Miles Good knocks down a 3 in return.
I love that interaction there. We'll see if we can maybe show it coming out of our next time out. Jackson Paul was over-dribbling, which at the start of the year he was doing a little bit of. And Jared Yock hates that. He wants Jackson to move it. Jackson doesn't have to be a 20-point scorer as Humphrey gets going. And Jared screamed his, move it. and Jackson pointed to him, pounded his chest, said, my bad, settle down. Miles Good hits a three to make it better. That's what you want between your leaders and your coaches.
That's right.
Good.
Lots of accountability.
And Beagle now will drive. He had an opening, forces up the tougher shot when he could have just turned around, shot a little 10-footer. He struggled today as well. Humphrey put it on the floor. Good had it knocked away. And now back into Humphrey against Beagle. Quick spin. He's now triple teamed. Gustin catches. He goes up with the right hand, able to avoid the shot blocking Lasisi.
Lasisi, great rim protector right there. Great job by Gustin to work through it and get that bucket right there.
Jackson carving inside. He finds Kalen, and this time he's able to dunk with two hands. He continues his efficient afternoon up to 9 points and 9 rebounds.
Lasisi not always the biggest contributor in the scoring column, but so far he's got 9. It's been an efficient 9. Can't remember a time where he missed a shot here today.
Inside, Humphrey had it knocked away by Jackson Paul. Right back to Gustin. He'll carve in. Probably was fouled by Jackson Paul, but gets it to go anyways. That's 6'8" coming at you off the floor, and he's so good at adjusting midair. He's long. I would imagine his wingspan's close to 7 feet as he gets to the rim very effortlessly.
He was moving like a guard right there. Only took about 2 steps to get from the rack to the free throw line.
Good is short. Lasisi tried chasing after it. It's rebounded by Rutland III as he forces the issue. Next dead ball will be our first media timeout here. Cutting and a foul, and it's going to be on Cade Brenner. And with that, we will send it to a break. Huntington still up 11 here on FDN Sports, and they continue to find a way to get to the rim and shoot from deep. Miles Good having a good afternoon on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Back in Platt Arena, 51-40. Brady, we're talking about the leadership by these two things. This is the possession I'm talking about. Jackson Paul's coming down the floor, and Coach Yak does not want Jackson to over-dribble. Well, he's going behind the back, dribbling the life out of it. You see him here. He's pointing to his chest saying, my bad, coach, my bad, coach. Coach Yak's screaming out at him. They get it to Miles Good. He makes it worth his while, but I just love that. Maybe that didn't give you the best picture, the best painting of that, but that is so cool to see those two connect. It's kind of like Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown screaming at each other on the sideline, maybe when A.J. Brown drops a pass or makes a mistake. But they still work together. They still obviously enjoy each other, and Jared Yak wouldn't be in the position he's in without Jackson Paul.
No, I totally agree right there.
Vice versa.
Great leadership right there. Jackson Paul recognizes his mistake, but coming out of the timeout, Gustin knocks down a elbow three.
Gustin is doing a great job trying to battle his team back into this game. 8-point game now as Jackson Jones is available in the corner. That's strong. He's 0 for 2 from the field. Huntington needs one of these guys off the bench, or Brenner and Beagle, to start knocking in some shots for him in this second half.
This bench unit has really been the X factor for this Forrester squad so far this season. The starting five sort of slowing down here, and now all of a sudden, Marian on a 6-0 run, right back in this game.
Now Huntington's giving up wide open threes here during this stretch, and even though they might not be great three-point shooters, they're still college basketball players, and when they've gotten good looks here in the second half, they're going in. Just like that, a 6-0 run after the media timeout. Caden Johnson against Gustin. He has Jones to his left, and he's fouled by Luke Carroll with the reach in. That is just the third foul on the Knights here in the second half.
In a situation like that, I talked about it at halftime. I would send a double team. Don't let Caden Johnson beat you. I know Gustin, he's done a pretty good job defending Caden Johnson one-on-one, but let those shooters beat you. It hasn't been a lights-out performance by any of these guards for Huntington shooting the basketball. I would send that double team and have confidence that these HU shooters won't be able to make it.
Yep, and nothing happening again there for Huntington as no one could get open on that play. And now, just like that, a bucket here from the Knights makes it a one-possession game. This is eerily similar to that St. Francis game on Wednesday night. Rutland has 6 of the last 9. Gustin has been the other answer. Goes up and under and fades and misses. The loose ball is kept in by Lasisi. Another great hustle play. Lasisi catches and kept that pivot foot down. They'll say he never had possession as Johnson is going to get a personal picked up on Gustin on the drive.
Yeah, Lasisi maybe just didn't have possession right there. I thought for sure they would have been whistled for a travel, but ends up working out in HU's favor as they pick up a blocking foul moments later.
That's Gustin's second, team 4th for the Knights. This Knights team looks like a different team here over the last 5 minutes. Huntington was up as many as 17 here in the second half already. Knights waiting to double here as KJ's trying to go back to work. He's got Brenner and now Good, who shot fakes and drives once more. Forces a tough shot and a chance for 3 as Miles Good has eclipsed the 20-point mark and a chance for 21 coming up.
Miles Good going straight into the body of Ron Rutland III, working his way through some contact. He is so good at using his body right there and able to convert on the tough look. Gonna have a chance at a 3-point play.
Been waiting for Miles to have a performance like this again since that massive outpouring in points. 36 against Hope International. It's been a little rocky. He's been around 34% from the field, but this is good to see because he is the point guard and scoring guard in a lot of games of the future. Got Trey Shelsky from Park Heritage coming in next year. Rutland's already hit 2 this half. That one rims out, and then Brenner lost it as it was last touched by Diallo. And then you've got Landon Richmond, who's a Columbia City kid, and Huntington's had some good success with those Columbia City kids right down the road as well.
HU's done a great job recruiting here. They got a talented freshman class coming in right now, not getting huge minutes, but maybe will next year. They're doing a good job recruiting.
Good, that time left it short. We've seen him be pretty solid at operating inside with that floater. That time a little short. Diallo trying to catch a heater again. I'm telling you, why is this guy ever out of the game? He has been a flamethrower for him as he knocks in another 3. I just don't know why you don't play him more. Maybe there's more behind the scenes that I don't know, but every time I watch him, this is what he does.
He's having a good day so far, but I want to say his third 3.
Jackson Paul got to a horrible spot, threw it away. Diallo gets down and makes it a 3-point game. He's up to 17. He's leading the team in scoring, and he's barely played at all in this second half.
I wouldn't mind a timeout here. It feels like this team is sort of not operating with the pace that you would want to hear. You're only up by 3. It should be a bit more urgency.
Good catch by Lasisi, and then KJ nearly dribbled it off his foot, but it will be a media timeout, and all of a sudden, Huntington in a little bit of a tighter game. It's 54-51. When we come back, Huntington will have it under their own basket.
Hi, my name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
Going to take you around the Crossroads League real quick. Look at some other scores. Spring Arbor up on St. Francis 67-62. Huntington, of course, here in Platte Arena up 54-51. Mount Vernon trails Taylor with 3 minutes left, 73-71. That Mount Vernon team is tough. They can score it. Isaiah Brown, he's probably a guy that's going to hit the transfer portal after this year. He's really good for MVNU. Indiana Tech beating Bethel by 10. That actually would help Huntington to climb a little closer to the 3 spot as Brenner catches off the screen, and he's way short again. And again, struggling to knock in some open looks. He had such a good game Wednesday, but these shots, just some of them have to start going in from either Beagle or Jones or Brenner. I mean, it's part of it.
Yeah, whoever it may be, I talked about it a bit, but these HU shooters, I mean, the reality is just they've been a bit inconsistent here today and for the majority of the season. So if Marian, I mean, they're already back in this game, but I would just say continue to let them shoot.
Brenner to good, into Johnson. Haven't seen him go to work offensively for a while. He does find JP, who will put it on the floor, knife inside, fall away, and airballed it as Huntington again comes up empty on another bad offensive possession.
Yeah, JP just maybe trying to force the action a bit too much right there. He's good in the mid-range, and he has been his whole career, but that's not the look right there. Humphrey
was fouled by Brenner on the jump shot, and now Humphrey will head back to the free throw line.
So Humphrey, we talked about it. He had a rough game last time on Wednesday against IWU, but he's done a solid job here in Platte Arena. Really come on more in the second half. He's got a chance to earn 2 points here at the free throw stripe.
Humphreys first, off the mark. He is 3 for 4 now on the day. 76.5 is now Landon Beagle will come back in. They're just trying to find lightning in a bottle right now, whether it's Brenner or Beagle. Both of them have had a cold day from the field. Beagle does grab the rebound here. Brenner's 1 of 8 after making his first shot. Beagle's 1 of 5. Jackson, KJ, now Beagle, bounce inside Lassisi. Kalen, hands off to Miles Good. Less than 9 minutes left in the game. Huntington up 3. This is a tight second half here all of a sudden. Huntington again, no offense going. Good, gonna have to create, steps back, launches, it's too strong. Lassisi tried to create. Caden Johnson just picked up, I believe, his 4th foul. Oh, it's actually gonna go on Kalen Lassisi, and it's just his 2nd.
That's a huge break right there. Caden Johnson, I'm actually surprised he's out there on the floor with 8 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second half. In risk of picking up his 4th right there. Luckily, it goes to Lassisi.
Offense has gone away from the Foresters here again in this second half. Left side, Diallo had it knocked away. Good has it loose. See if they can get something easy here. It's Good. Finds Beagle. He'll rise in transition. Still nothing from those two here so far. KJ just trying to call his own number. He does, and maybe that is just where Huntington needs to go here for the next few minutes. Even if he's doubled, is a hook shot over a couple of 6'7" guys the worst option right now?
Yeah, Caden Johnson says, here, I'll do it myself. Nice little baby hook right there, and yeah, I think you're right. Some shots from him, really any shot, will be better than what we're getting so far.
Humphrey knocked that out of bounds, and Landon Beagle was down on the floor with them. As we see this here, looks like it was off Humphrey, and because they lost the challenge earlier, Coach Knight can't challenge that one, and they wanted to. A 5-point lead, now under 8 minutes in Platte Arena. Huntington trying to keep their good record at home going. KJ. Double team, swing pass of the rim. Miles Good gets a loose ball. It's knocked away. Beagle knows it's off his teammate, and now Huntington can go. 5 on the shot clock. 4, Good, steps away, steps through, gets it to go before the buzzer.
Great awareness there by Miles Good. Knew exactly how much time he had to work with. Got his defender up in the air. Utilizes the backboard right there. That's a big time shot. He's up to 24 points on the game.
Diallo He's had the hot hand, threw it away. Lasisi turns over the Knights again. That's been an issue here the last few possessions. Now Huntington could take one of their big swings again. Right back in. Caden Johnson back to the basket against Humphrey. There's the cut, and he threw it out of bounds as he's trying to go way too quick to Lasisi. Miles Good was wide open on the right wing for about 30 seconds in that possession.
Yeah, Miles Good and Beagle right there, but that's the play that we saw early on in that first half with Lasisi cutting towards the basket. Coach Yonk talked about it at halftime, just trying to steal some possessions. Lasisi is so good at knowing when to cut right there, just a bit too hot on the pass from Caden Johnson.
Rutland the third being guarded by Good. Strong move inside. Good job by Lasisi staying straight up. And now Caden Johnson has another rebound. He's up to 10 and 10 again today.
The walking double-double. He could be half asleep playing this game right now. He might still get 10 boards, 10 points.
He might be half asleep with the last two passes he's thrown. Bounce pass inside. Moles is fouled. Just horrible decisions for no reason. I mean, you're throwing a behind-the-back, no-look pass in a 7-point game. He's played well, of course. He usually does. We just gotta have a feel, I mean, for the game. And those two passes, both one-handed. We've seen it a lot this year. He tries to force that in with his strong one-handed left hand, and it consistently seems to lead to turnovers. That's the one knock on him after, because he's having a tremendous year.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, sneakily, the turnovers have been an issue for Caden Johnson this season. And like you said, he usually plays well, stuffs the stat sheet with points, rebounds. But I'm thinking about the last time they were here at home against Taylor. KJ had 17 points, but he also had 6 turnovers. Those turnovers are starting to pile up here, and in close games like this, mistakes like that really stand up.
And of course, it is inflated because he has the ball a lot, and we're not knocking on it. That's just the one, like, that is completely something you can control. And maybe that's a good option. Just keep going to the rim as he tips it back up and in. Just be aggressive and go to the rim. He becomes almost too unselfish at times and tries to sneak in those passes, but when he calls his own number, it's worked a lot. Diallo again. This guy should start for him.
I was going to say, you called it. He is having a night so far, knocking down, I want to say that's his 3rd or 4th three. He has it going.
Got 20 points. Jackson, a free layup, and he missed it as he didn't go off glass.
I was going to say, the backboard is your friend, Jackson Paul. Try to make that without using the backboard.
Rutland the third lobs it up, gets it to go, back to a 2-point game.
Don't think any Huntington fan really expected this score with 5 minutes left in the second half against Marian. Only 4 wins so far this season, but an extremely scrappy group. They're hanging right in it with the Foresters.
Jackson goes to Miles Good, just now 12 on the shot clock, and a foul inside. That's going to be number 6 on the Knights. And we're going to send it to a break as we have reached the under 5 media timeout. Huntington's still ahead, but now only by 2 when we come back on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Hi, my name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
Huntington ahead by 2, a big reason why. Some of the hustle plays created by Landon Beagle this time around had to go nearly the length of the court. And then, of course, late clock Miles Good has been so good at operating against the clock. That was a pretty step-through move. He's leading the way for the Foresters right now. And Miles Good, maybe someone that needs to take over down the stretch because the offense is not coming easily right now with 4:45 left in the second half for HU.
He's been the go-to scorer, and he might get a majority of the plays drawn up for him at this point of the game. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left, only up by 2.
Humphrey's not even guarding Beagle at the line anymore. They are making them work through Good, who pulls it back, who shoots, is off the mark. It's off the top of the backboard, and Huntington again gets a really tough look on that possession.
There you go. I talked about it right there. As you mentioned, Humphrey not even guarding Beagle in the corner, daring these shooters to take some tough looks. They're not going to let Johnson beat him down the stretch, even though he's been able to work through some contacts in this half.
And now Jackson gambles and fouls and puts Marian at the free throw line with a chance to tie the game on a 1-and-1.
At this point in the game, Marian scoring with the clock off is the last thing that you want for HU. They're going to have a chance to tie this game up with 0 time going off the clock.
That's off the mark. It has not been very crisp from the free throw line for the Knights today, and it's a big reason why Huntington's still ahead. 4 minutes left. Huntington looking for some offense down the stretch. Brenner against Rutland, over to JP. Right now, Marian switching everything. Caden Johnson to Brenner, who takes a 3. Who gets it to go, and finally Brenner rips one through. And he's had a tough shooting day, but I will say he has hit some big shots this season. He did against St. Francis. He does today. Huntington up 5, 3:49 left.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Back in Platt Arena, Cade Brenner with a big 3 right before that timeout for Coach Jared Yock. He's got 2 left. Coach Knight has 1. It's a 5-point advantage with a little less than 4 minutes left for the Foresters on FDN Sports. They are currently in the 5 spot in the Crossroads League. Of course, you have to be top 4 to host a game in the Crossroads League tournament. IWU still up 10 on Bethel. Taylor is going to beat Mount Vernon. They have just given Grace no breathing room because they continue to work with only 1 loss in Crossroads League play. Grace is playing Goshen. They're going to win again today. They are now 19-0 and undefeated in the Crossroads League, and that might be the story for the next 4 years because there's 0 seniors on that team. 3:40 left in Platt Arena. Moles skips. Diallo is open again, and he's got 23 points off the bench after averaging 3.6 this season.
I mean, who else really tonight? It has just been his game for the Navy and Yellow. And that's going to be, well, I thought they might have got Lasisi for a travel, but they're going to get an off-ball foul.
And Caden Johnson now has to go to the line for a 1-and-1. And this is where he has improved a lot this year, but things have been trending in the wrong direction recently. He is down to 61.9%, which is 22% higher than last year. But recently it's not been nearly as good. Lefties first is good. That's a big one from KJ. And I'll give him all the credit in the world because last year 40%. Teams would foul him in late stages to force him there. Now you can't always do that. Johnson off the mark. So it does make it a 1-possession game for the Knights as they'll probably take that and have a chance to tie. If you're Huntington, you got to watch for Diallo right here.
Yes.
Humphrey.
They got the switch.
And Good took it away. He's got space to run. Miles will slow it down, hands it off to KJ, and Humphrey fouled from behind. And again, it's another 1-and-1 opportunity.
Yeah, so you just talked about it, but that intentional fouling right there. Actually, no, it looked like he was going a bit more for the ball right there. But not the worst person you could have at the line right now if you're the Knights.
64-61. Huntington in a fight against the Knights, who are 4-14. And again, now just 1 for 3 from KJ. I told you it's been trending in the wrong direction here recently from the stripe. Rutland to Moles, who's been quiet. Jackson Paul nearly got caught for another personal as Diallo has it top of the key. Gustin and Diallo have been the two that have hurt the Foresters. Diallo has it back now left side. Lodge puts it on the floor, finds Gustin inside, who threw it to Humphrey, who couldn't hold on. And it looked like it was out of bounds before the shot clock violation. Good possession by this Forester defense.
Just nothing doing. No passing lanes open. Every single pass was just tough on that possession. Great job by this HU defense. Looking like the unit that we saw early in the first half. Not so much in the second half.
Huntington up 3. See if one of these players for the Foresters can hit a big shot to push them over the top here today at home, as they are in a battle for a top 5 spot. Beagle looking to knock one in, and it went halfway down. That one looks so good off his hand, but it rattles around and out. Still nothing happening for Landon. And now an offensive foul called, as Humphrey's going to be called for the personal. And with 2:05 left, let's take a look at this one.
He's working on Beagle, yeah. He was out of frame, but just shoved Landon Beagle to the wayside right there and gets the attention of the official.
Back-to-back turnovers by Marian when they had a chance to tie this game. Good. Behind the back, bounces it to KJ, who has a free run at the rim, and he has lit it up here in this second half. 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists now.
In a big spot. Caden Johnson is the one you want with the ball in his hand. A definitive decision to dunk that one home.
Good. Up and under. Caden Johnson is 13th rebound. They've got Brenner in the corner to seal it from there. In and out. Huntington could have used clock. They could have used 30 seconds there. Instead, Brenner rattles one in and out again.
They just can't close the door. That door is still open for Marian. It's a 2-possession game with just over a minute to go.
Humphrey, strong move. Caden Johnson again with good defense and now 14 rebounds. Huntington maybe one shot away from tying this one up.
I feel like they've been one shot away for a while, Preston. They've missed some of those dagger shots.
Good. Uses the screen, and a foul on Humphrey is going to disqualify him from the game as he picks up his 5th, and it's going to send Caden Johnson back to the free throw line.
It looks like Miles Good's going to get a chance here for 2.
Coach Knight trying to decide who's going to come into the game. It's going to be Luke Carroll, as there was a long wait to see who they're going to put in. This isn't a real long bench. And yeah, Caden Johnson should be shooting. That's a good catch by Todd Howard.
A good try by Miles Good. No.
We've seen this already once before. And now Johnson is going to shoot 2 free throws. First one up. Misses that one. He's 1 for 4 now on the free throw line today.
I just talked about it. Huntington just can't seem to close the door. Even if Johnson makes this, it's still a 2-possession game.
Did get that to go. So 6 points is the lead. Huntington going to let Marian roll it in as Rutland III has it. Another low-scoring affair for these Foresters, looking to come out on top here at home, move to 9-1 in Platte Arena. Moles against Brenner, drives and is fouled and will head to the free throw line. It's been a quiet afternoon for Moles, just 4 points. Same with Aiden Franks. He has been on the bench nearly this entire second half and just hasn't given this team anything. It's a different player than what we saw last year.
Yeah, especially Dylan Moles. He's coming off a season-high 22 against Wesleyan in his last game. But, yeah, he has been held in check today. Only 4 points so far in this contest with only 42.3 left to go.
Moles ready for the second. Gets them both to go. Coach Knight uses his last timeout. Here's the last foul on Cade Brenner, and what it's going to do is send us to our last timeout. Coach Knight wants a full timeout. We'll go ahead and take our last timeout. Huntington up 4 with 42.3 left.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
67-63. Here's the stats so far today. Huntington 25 of 58. That's 43% from the field. They've really slowed down shooting the 3-ball as they're 9 of 29 now, just 31%, 8-11 from the free throw line. 10 turnovers, pretty good number here today. On the other side, you see the Knights shooting it at 44.2%, actually shooting the ball better than HU from the field and the three-point line, but much worse from the charity stripe. 9 of 15, but they have more made free throws. It's been a weird game. The stats are weird. Huntington's been dominating during stretches of this game. This second half got tight, and it still is.
Yeah, it's been very interesting just watching the scoreboard. I feel like you wouldn't be able to tell which team has really owned this game. It's, you know, like you said, it's been kind of confusing because, like you said, Huntington's dominated at times. They came out strong. Marian battled back, and we got a 4-point game. It's really anyone's contest at this stage.
Jackson can run the baseline here, is good. Goes back to JP. He will cross the timeline and foul. Johnson was waiting down for a layup, and the foul is going to be against Diallo. Jackson Paul will shoot 2 free throws now as Diallo picks up his third. Funny story about Cade Brenner. I was talking to Coach Yak yesterday. He said Jackson Paul got fouled 94 feet away from the basket at St. Francis as he knocks in the first. Had to make both the first of the 1-and-1 and then the second. Okay, of course, that's how it works. There was like 3 seconds left. Cade Brenner looks at Jackson Paul in the huddle and goes, hey, man, our season kind of depends on these free throws. And Jared Yak goes, why would you say that? He goes, it's JP. I know he'll knock it in.
Yeah.
See that there again. Clutch free throw shooter. Humphrey. Looked like he got away with the travel. Moles launches, air balls. Johnson another rebound. That is his 15th. And he'll head back to the free throw line as Caden has another big performance, and Huntington looks like they're going to escape with a win here in Platte Arena.
Yeah, if they are able to hold on, escape would be the right word for this. Marian, I don't know if they led at any point during this game, but we're always right there on the hip of Huntington. Not exactly a clean game, but regardless, looking like they're going to get the job done here at home and move to 9-1 in Platte Arena and 14-5 on the season.
Just a side note, Corey Alford in his first year with HU, he won 16 games. He was 16-11. So Jared Yak getting close to that. I'm sure that's a little bit of a friendly competition between those two guys. Rutland, the third, steps back, fires, is short. Lasisi kept it in play, had it knocked away, and then fouled. As there's 13 seconds left, it's going to be a 1-and-1 chance for the Knights.
So refusing to quit, Marian Knights are down by 8. Would take what I would call a miracle for this game to become tied, but regardless, they're not giving up.
Luke Carroll will have the 1-and-1, 73% free throw shooter. Off the mark, Brenner rises and grabs it. Coach Knight calls off the Dogs, and Huntington comes away with another victory. The two teams go 2-0 here today. 71-63 winners are the Foresters. They get back on track after a little bit of a tough stretch. This team has been resilient all year long and now have won 2 straight and hanging around that 4 or 5 spot in the Crossroads League with Spring Arbor coming into town next weekend.
Yeah, definitely what I would call a scrappy win. Wasn't pretty, didn't get the job done how you would have maybe expected coming into this game, watching the film throughout the week. But regardless, you get a win in the win column. There's not too much to complain about. So this HU squad's going to be happy headed into a week-long break. They will face off against Spring Arbor next Saturday in their next Crossroads League bout.
These two teams, St. Francis and Marian, also very similar on the women's side. Same thing Darby Maggard said. She was happy to play St. Francis before Marian. Jared Yock said the same thing to us when we met with him yesterday. And right now we will talk with the first-year head coach following win number 14. Just a moment. Coach Yock, congrats on the win. First of all, it was another one of those slug-it-out games there in the second half. Caden Johnson brought it again. Still a few turnovers for KJ, but he has the ball in his hands so much, and at the end of the day, did a really good job creating for this offense once again.
Yeah, he made some really good plays. I do think we need to cut down on our turnovers still. Him and JP have struggled a little bit, but like you said, those guys are going to have the ball in their hands a ton. They're going to make some mistakes, but it's one area that we're focused on, and we're trying to clean up, but we're going to keep getting better.
Miles Good had been going through a little bit of patch. Maybe you'd say that freshman struggle, even, redshirt freshman. But today, he really brought it. A big reason why he won 24-2-2. It was good to see him get back on track.
Yeah, it was good to see him just come out and be aggressive early. He got some easy stuff to go and made some plays. And the thing about Miles is when he's making the right play and being aggressive, we get great looks.
So you guys have Spring Arbor coming up next. That's a team that got you at their place earlier in the year. Kind of a similar style. They're a good defensive team, probably play a little slower than you guys. What's the prep look like? And it's got to feel good to maybe have a whole week off to get ready for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be good to have that week. We got some guys that are a little banged up, nicked up, that we're going to hope to get back healthy. And, they're a very good defensive team. We thought we let one slip away up there earlier in the year. So I think our guys will be fired up. We're going to have to focus on cleaning up the offensive end, getting back to making a few shots, and we'll be ready to go next Saturday.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us. Congrats on another win.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Coach Jared Yock joining us. Huntington victors today, 71-63. Brady, your final thoughts on this one?
Just a great win here. Gutted out the win, able to move to above 500 in the Crossroads League season. 5 wins to 4 losses. They're sort of solidifying themselves in that 4 to 5 range. Getting that top 5 seed will be very helpful in the tournament. But a great win here. Congrats to head coach Jared Yock. Looking forward to that week-long break, getting back healthy, back here in Platte Arena against Spring Arbor next Saturday.
Yeah, it actually will not be me on the call next week. It's going to be Brady Gallo and Jaden Woods.
That's right.
It's the first game I've missed for FTN Sports, at least on the men's basketball side, since I started now about 3.5 years ago. But I'll still be tuning in, Brady, so bring your A game and bring a couple of Forester wins. Thank you to our crew for a phenomenal job, professional job by our students here at Huntington University. Jonathan Peters, Emmy Malone in the back. We ran through the crew earlier. We're thankful for every single one of you. Brady Gallo, Preston Usbin, the rest of our crew. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you next Saturday.